Sure enough, here's a vision of Theodora. And who deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done, or is it the leader himself who has finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Rogue Trader, we meet at last. I've grown tired of waiting you to pay me a visit. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, everything I left behind has gone to this non-entity. Warp illusion be gone. My view indeed. You say, what are you, or we have already met? What, you ask? You dare say that to me, little boy? I'm Theodora von Velas. Yeah, blah blah. No, you're not. Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way by death. But do not weep for me, my boy. I'm still keeping an eye on the property and punishing all those who failed me. You are not Theodora. Theodora is dead. There is no coming back from that. Or where is Idira? Me, what have I done with Idira? All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics, I provided her with everything she could ever dream of. Oh, I had great plans for Idira. You are not Theodora, Theodora is dead. She's basically trying to exploit semantics to say that she is, even though she's absolutely a warp illusion. Or a demon, pretending to be Theodora. The remnants of herself that she left behind in this world. Okay, I'm an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I'm a taste of the tears. She might actually be a figment of Idira's powers. I'm as real as the human power. I think the most likely outcome here is demon, or like warp being of some sort. If you are Theodora, then tell me who really killed you. Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you languishing in your ignorance. We'll see how you can conduct yourself. She just called me little boy. Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breach the veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help from my little... Oh, Idira... Did Idira literally summon her? I will send you back to the abyss you crawled out of. I'm here to seek my retribution against those who failed me, my brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in the darkest hour, and worst of all, you, my dear heir, you who would undeservedly claim the warrant. Looks like we have casualties, mutations, damage to the ship, and thinking back, this is the first time, because I've been receiving random events saying that people have been seeing visions of Theodora for some time. One of them actually caused a section of the Void Shield plans to rise up, saying I was a usurper because Theodora had said, hey, rise up. And I had to, well, I took the decision to destroy the rebellious clan, spare the others, because you can't tolerate mutiny no matter what. And now I'm all thinking it links to... I thought it was just random warp events, but I think it all links to Idira and this vision. Let's see what these workers are saying. Are they even cogent? No, no. There's a giant macro cannon shell there. Let's really, really hope, because we're on the macro cannon decks apparently, let's hope that none of these shells go off. Theodora's over there, we'll talk to her in just a moment. And it looks like Idira is up there. Where is she? I clearly remember her being around here somewhere. Okay, that sounded very freaky. Let's go chat to Idira. Ah, there you are, my little coward. Why won't you look at your captain, Idira? This is a bit freaky. It's wrong, it's all wrong. Yes, yes it is. Look at her, boy, my little Idira is utterly trapped in her visions. No matter, I will allay your doubts. Oh, Idira, do not allow yourself to be mind-fragmented. Lord Captain. Idira turns towards you, but her demented gaze only rests briefly on your face before sliding away. Up close you can see the base of one of her implants is blackened and melted. Now that's probably a problem, because one of those implants are probably one of the things that were protecting her from warp intrusion. Now wait, Lord Captain. Lady von Valancius. Idira raises her eyes to Theodora, who stands before her. Tears stream down her cheeks. You came back. Poor little Idira, there, how could I not come? You were crying for me so desperately. Your pleas carried to the very depths of the warp itself. If Idira called for Theodora and opened the portal, because psykers can, they can accidentally or deliberately open portals. If she let this demon thing in, why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself. Idira takes 12 damage. I didn't hear anything that could have had anything to do with you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I failed. Which is just proof that her divination, right? Because her divinations, the voices she's listening to are voices from the warp. Whenever they want to cause pain and suffering, they just don't have to tell her, as they did with Theodora. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims at Idira, who is struggling with the monster's hold. The Sister of Battle looks at her with an out-and-out down or mercy. Okay, alright, so this is where I might do some save scumming. Because what I want to happen here, people have said in the comments that I can hand Idira over to the Inquisition for trial, sanctioning, whatever. That is the lawful, correct end to this scenario. If I'm not allowed to do that, then the correct action here would be to let Argenta do her duty. So I'm going to tell her, Argenta, stop. But if I can't later hand Idira over, then no. Kill Idira. Like, tell Argenta not to kill her and then do it yourself. Idira, I am your captain, not her. Listen to her, snap out of it. Damn it, Chaos will... And then Theodora is saying, Chaos will devour you, it will devour everyone responsible for my death. Die for the delection of my lord. What sort of demon are you? Hey, it's Siege. Pink horror. And we got blue horrors. Warp beasts, mutants, workers. Alright, should have wiped them out before, but they will provide us momentum. I think the key is, let's take out Theodora first. This warp beast. Well, the blue horrors and whatnot. Definitely should have put the workers down. But what we can do is we can leave the workers to Argenta and Heinrichs. While Jay sits there. Pascal, we're mostly just going to want to have the most view possible in case he gets a momentum turn. Perun's going to hang with Cassia, and Cassia is going to be the one who brings down the Warp Beast. Idira is also on our side, but is wounded, damaged, and not great. So, let's go. Who wants the extra turn first? I think the answer is either... The answer might be Heinrichs. To get everyone's resolve up for momentum. Like, because if we do that... That's the same as us getting, like, 20 extra momentum or something on our first turn. We can buff his strength and toughness. And then his Purge Soul, which does extra damage against demons, is actually going to be effective this time. See, it's like doing 18 to 25. And yes, I know that pushes us into Veil Degradation. But I'm going to go Temporary Wounds anyway. Perils of the Warp 2 damage, but he gets Temporary Wounds. Alright, I'll take it. What we really need now is Cassia to bring down the Warp Degradation. We'll do that. We'll give her an extra turn. She will hand a turn to probably... I mean, I want Pascal to lower the recoil on Argenta's Bolter. But let's get her going. So we want to go... Probably burst up first. We're not going to get multiple targets at this point, unfortunately. Okay, 2 solid hits. She's at versatility 3. We get our first bonus at... with her next single shot, which we will take soon. Okay, first turn of the actual whatever. I think we want the bonus damage on the tough guys. And we'll kill zone them, so it's harder for them to dodge. We'll get Argenta boosted up, and then we'll get Cassia taking her extra turn, which as always will be her opening with a buff. And then probably try to finish off one of these workers. Take the mooks off the field. Extra turn to Cassia. Give a buff to probably Idira to keep her alive. That'll give Idira an ability to survive turn 1, and then we'll kill the first demon. And as you can see, that brings us down to Warp Veil Degradation 15, because every time Cassia uses an ability, we stabilize the warp. And we just got a huge chunk of momentum there.
High momentum.
Which means we can go straight into Finest Hour. And smack this worker a couple of times. And by worker, I mean the Warp Beast. Okay, it melted it into a blue horror. Tactical advantage. To nuke one of the blue horrors. Love it. So that's farmed us up a whole bunch of momentum. We can snipe or we can go into burst mode. I mean, we can let's test the burst just for a second. Let's see what this looks like. 48%, lots of burst firing. Nice. Toxic burst out this way. Not bad. I'm liking the shurikens and whatever. That's a reasonable amount of damage, Jay. Idira puts forewarning on herself and analyzes on the blue horror and exposes weaknesses on the blue horror and sensory deprivation on the blue horror. Which of course created a whole bunch of veil degradation, but we can deal with the veil degradation. Okay, Argenta. Argenta, I kind of want you to kill this blue horror. Which I think we can accomplish by going Shot, which should give you versatility 4, which makes Wildfire, which is her 2 AP one cheaper. Which means we can go into Wildfire for 2. Which means we can go into a Burst. Which means we should Rapid. Great, which means she goes into high momentum, which means that she can do this, which means she now has 1 0 AP cost to attack per turn. So let's come up to maybe here. Use steady superiority. We'll reload. 0 cost burst. Run and gun. Oh wait, no, she can single shot anyway. So we're at versatility 9. Furious Recital. And that almost killed it, but not quite. Unfortunate. It has 3 health left and it takes a turn. Which hurts, but thankfully not too much. Mostly chaff left now. But think about it, all of these lives, their loss is basically Idira's responsibility. And, like, I'm not sure anything will convince me otherwise. Everyone adjacent to the target point suffers from damage. Alright, more resolve for everyone.
I won't.
Charge. And then out of range. Unfortunate. I don't think we'll risk perils, so we'll just endure in the turn. How dare you stab Perun? That is very much not allowed. Recoil reduction on Argenta. And then this is 9 to 11. This is 11 to 15. So let's mark him as the prey. Shoot him. Which is nice. And then I think because we can't shoot again... Oh, wrong button. Wrong button, that's okay. I was going to analyze and then tactical knowledge to buff everyone. Tactical knowledge, by the way, is really, really cool. We'll investigate it in a later battle, which is more about... Mutant Bomber. I don't like mutant bombers. So let's bring Cassia over to this side, I think. She can't get range on them, unfortunately. So we'll give an extra turn to probably Pascal. Who can destroy that person. Done. Just has too many AP for whatever's left over. Let's analyze over here. Exploit. Can't tell how many exploits. But that's okay. We'll just trigger joint analysis and be done with it.
I have read terms of military tactics.
That's not enough to kill the bomber. So it's a buff and gaze sort of situation.
If I may.
Should have used tactical knowledge. That's okay.
High momentum.
Yeah, we're high momentum. We're done. Okay, Pascal guns down the last demon. Idira stares at you. Lord Captain, is it really you? Argenta trains her weapons on Idira and watches closely. This abomination claims you called her. Is that true? Me, did I? Yes, Lord Captain. I think it was me who called her. I can barely remember the voices, my old good whispers. They suddenly turned red sharp. They started cutting, tearing, ripping me to pieces. I cried out. I called for help, and she came. Damn it, why are the voices making so much noise now? Shut up, shut up. That's basically a confession. The previous rogue trader has been seen on the ship. Was this your doing? Yes, I did it a couple of times when I'd had too much to drink. At the time, I thought I heard her voice among the whispers in my head. The voice was so sad, so clear, I couldn't help myself. I answered. I hoped I could reach her there. You are stupid. And you know what? Being a psyker and getting drunk is, to me, worse than getting drunk and then getting behind the wheel of a car. You are so much more dangerous. You have to be in control of your abilities the whole life. So I'm sorry, but sobriety is required. The warp tricked you. It played upon your feelings. I can understand why, but that is no excuse for what you did. Forgive me. I know I let you down. I let everyone down, but it started off well, didn't it? You didn't shoot me or chase me off. All I had to do was keep control of myself, and the two of us would have gotten along fine. I threw away my chance. I know what you're thinking. During the warp jump when Lady Theodora came out to us, I kept thinking about the media, I kept blaming myself. Why didn't I divine it? Why didn't I stop her killer? These are the thoughts playing at the back of my mind day after day, choking with guilt. And do you know what? The one on the officer's deck, I don't know what that was, but this time here, this was a product of my guilt, and accuses straight out of my own mind. Has anything like this ever happened before? Like this? Never. Well, there was something, but it was different. It wasn't as strong or terrifying. Apparitions appeared, mechanisms malfunctioned, the crew lost their minds. But Lady Von Valancius knew about that. She said it was a small price to pay, an acceptable expense. No psyker is immune to it, but what happened here, it was just a mistake. I won't do it again. There will be no more mistakes, Lord Captain. Argenta says this is not the first time this heretic has caused the death of her crew. Do you remember the incident on the mid-deck, Idira? What did those honest souls ever do to deserve such a fate? To be turned into mutants and attack their own families? You are a monster, a heretic. If you have any humanity left in you, admit what you are. Shut up, quit your preaching. You are the worst out of everyone here. Heinrich says sometimes the psyker's first manifestation leads to the deaths of many others, but if a psyker possesses inordinate willpower and discipline, they can stave off the fall for a time. Idira has been alive many years already, a laudable achievement and a stroke of incredibly good fortune. But the force of the warp will ultimately devour any psyker deprived of the Emperor's protection. The fact these manifestations are growing more powerful is a clear sign the end is near. Alright, so what am I supposed to do with you now? Brune, I know after everything I've done, you have no faith in my willpower or strength, but I can fix everything. I'm just not at my best. You see, maybe we can find a way to replace my implants. Some other remedy, a better one. Lady Von Valancius said something could be found, if not here, then elsewhere. I didn't need it before, but we just need to find it. We need to figure out where to look for it, and we'll get it. Until then, I'll keep myself on a tight leash. What will happen to my crew while we look for this remedy? I'll pull myself together. I'll get myself under control. No more booze, no more excuse. She's doing drugs too. She's doing drugs while being a psyker. And listening to... No, I'm not escorting you from the ship. So I can say... Now, again, like I said, these options are here. I'm going to say your worries do not interest me, but as long as you keep yourself under control and useful, you will live. And that can be my statement as long as she goes to the Inquisition. Let's have a look. Okay, so she passes out, and Vigdis is asking what's happening. Okay, so I can airlock her. Everyone on the deck is dead, including the attackers. What happened is entirely the fault of Idira Tolas. Dispatch servitors and put her through an airlock. I'm sick of her antics. Or I can send her for medical attention and then tell them to shoot her without warning if she shows sign of warp influence, which I will do, and then immediately go talk to Heinrichs.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Okay, we're back on the bridge. First, we're going to talk to Idira. Have you recovered?
I have, Lord Captain. I remember our pact, and I have myself under control. The voices haven't quietened, but I'm managing. And if I'm ever tempted to slack off, I have a constant reminder of what's at stake.
We shall see.
Of course.
So, let's go talk to Heinrichs. Let's see if I have an option.
To what do I owe this visit?
There we are. Okay, I want the Inquisition to take care of Idira. Rid me of her. Fantastic. Okay. So, I think we can all agree. Maybe we can't, but Miss Tolas, that was a stunning lack of display of judgment, a lack of display of control, a lack of display of empathy as to the lives of the crew and the importance of preserving above all the safety of the ship, a dereliction of duty to the rogue trader, and an insult to the very precepts of the Imperium such as they relate to psykers. She is selfish, she is dangerous, incredibly dangerous, and she is ultimately unsanctioned. So, with the interests of my ship and crew at paramount, and with recollection of my duties to the Imperium, let's have a chat to Heinrichs. The only reason I didn't shoot her, despite everything that just happened and the dangers involved, was because maybe, just maybe, the Inquisition will be able to sanction her, and with her incredible power, and I acknowledge that she is immensely powerful, maybe she will survive sanctioning and be able to live a longer, more prosperous life, even if it may not be a pleasant sanctioning experience.
You are agreeing to hand over the unsanctioned psyker to us?
Yes. Thank you. Dogmatic +8. Let's go check if Idira is gone. That was efficient, Heinrichs. You teleported her off the bridge. Super efficient. Okay, so we now have one less person in the party. Idira is gone. I'll talk to the others to see how they're feeling about that and if they react to it. Yeah. It was time. It was absolutely time. So we're now 55 dogmatic, 30 iconoclast. So we've got 5 iconoclast points for not shooting her and then 8 for handing her over. Which only puts us very slightly on the Puritan side of the spectrum. Which is interesting. Once you hit level 3 in anything, you can't hit beyond level 2 in anything else. But that's nowhere near a problem yet, because we just have nowhere near enough points. We have 0 heretical points, and you know what? I'm happy with that. Alright, so with that dealt with, we can explore another system. Looks like there are some unknown ships out there. And I'm always happy to take a void engagement. But let's scan the planets first. Anomaly and Xenotech. Interesting. Let's go look at the anomaly. Ooh, it's a go down to the anomaly. So we'll do that last. Begin scan. Adamantine 2. Again, seems like a low roll for a vein, and I only have so many extractors. But I've taken a 5 and a 7 so far. We'll take adamantine if we need it. Like if we run out of things to build without it. Xeno Ruins. Shifting Fabrics. Uniform Kits. Okay, we'll take it. And did that actually get us... It got us a level. Hey, exploration is important. Let me level everyone, because it might be important for the void combat. Then let's go do some void combat. Okay, so we've got some pirates dragging a ship, or towing a ship called the Interstellar Sexton, a cargo ship belonging to one of Footfall's wealthiest traders. It looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew, and have now been forced to drag the ship to a more secluded place where they can plunder it undisturbed. Attack. As soon as it sees you, the escort ships charge into battle at once, while the captive Sextant powers up its warp engines. Unless the rogue trader interrupts the preparation for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish beyond the veil of the Immaterium, along with all the riches it is carrying. Alright, let's go get it. Okay, we have a lot of ships in the engagement area. Thankfully, they are spread out somewhat. We've got 2 Viper-class destroyers with Grav Culverins, dorsal mounted, very damaging, plus Voss torpedoes, and and a Cobra up the front. But they're a while away. 2 Cobras up the rear that we want to destroy as quickly as possible. And then the Interstellar Sextant, which is doing a 4-turn disengage, which has no weapons. So this is going to be a complex one, but I think we have to destroy some Cobras, disable the Sextant, preferably, and go from there. Okay, so here's my thinking. The escorts have to go. Like, just have to go. So, because we don't have... Even though we need to put firepower on the Sextant in order to stop it running away. What we really need is the escorts gone. Okay, that Cobra is disengaging. So swinging it around would have let me engage with Lancers.
Lay in the course. Fire the lance batteries.
Okay, so we've got damage on Cobra 2. We'll put torpedoes in the void, they can chase the Sextant. And then we can pursue the Sextant and you engage with our stronger port macros, and then swing around and continue the engagement.
Fire right now!
So we're not wasting any firepower, we're also prioritizing the Cobras. Yes, this means that this Cobra is probably going to escape, but to be honest, I don't think it's worth my time to invest the effort in making sure that it's destroyed. Cobra's engaging. damage on our starboard voids, and then she swings around. I think she's in torpedo range, and the forward escorts are going to have to change course to swing around. Viper's swinging around. We'll have to engage them soon. They have a lot of firepower too. Okay, we can't hit the sextant with our torpedoes, but we can hit this destroyer. And we can chase the sextant and we can engage her. Unfortunately, we can't quite get the facing that I wanted. The facing I wanted was to put everything onto her, basically into her backside. But we can engage with most of our weapon set.
Macro cannon!
Macros fire. Good hits by the Mazoas. Let me just count the movement squares for those Vipers and Cobras. Alright, I think they're actually engaging us next turn, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Lance. Okay, we dumped a lot of damage into her voids, but not enough. Stygies, fire. Okay, we put a little bit of damage. We've halved the strength of the voids, but we're going to be engaging Cobras and Firestorms next turn. Oh, I was wrong. That Cobra did not have range. Okay, that's fantastic. That spares us one turn of engagement. The Viper, however... There we are. Voss torpedoes launched. How is that not in my 4 engagement arc? Okay, port voids are down. We need to get past the torpedoes. So we know we need to end. We know we need to do this sort of swing and engage the sextant. We also need to kill this Viper. And this Viper is going to swing round. So putting torpedoes in here is just going to end up with the torpedoes being behind it, which we don't want. So leave this with me for a sec. Alright, so here's the go. We can't get torpedoes on anyone good, except for the interstellar sextant. So I propose, basically, that we come in and we try and head on the Cobra, try and knock out the Cobra, and use our starboard guns and our torps in order to disable the sextant, and the Viper is a problem for next turn. That's the basic idea here. So we go 1 forward. Torpedoes in the void at that point.
Locked.
And because we'll be finishing in that position, we'll be able to engage with ports. This might be a problem for Lancers. We might have to engage with the Lance here. And then swing.
Set the course.
Dorsals.
Macro cannons.
Macros fire. Macro cannons volley.
Fire right now.
Disengaging. So we will not take fire from them next turn. Macros into the sextant. Torpedoes should hit them next turn. Restart voids. We have one hostile that's going to continue to engage us. They use their torpedoes against our torpedoes. Okay, let's torpedo the sextant. We surrender. Fantastic. So we have them under control. Now we just have a Viper-class destroyer and some Cobras. Finishing off the Cobras would give us more loot, but obviously the Viper is the dangerous one. I don't see any evidence that we actually restarted our left void successfully, which is a problem. This is a perfect position to use our range, but let me plan my turn. Okay, so we use Arc Boost in order to be able to fire our most powerful port macros. Make that 3 out of 4 hits. Then we use the Rapid Turn. In order to be able to turn ourselves around like this. Do a bit of a hairpin turn. I mean, we might be able to destroy the Cobra if we're greedy. How long until they're disengaging? 3 rounds.
This one's going down.
Okay, I make that their forward voids are down. Dorsal macros fire.
Now!
And we finish here. We should be able to catch them and destroy them. Are you no longer disengaging? Oh, you're cheeky. These guys are cheeky. I'm not going to be able to engage anyone with the lance this turn except for this fleeing Cobra, who I can engage.
Set the course.
So I will. And then I think I swing round and engage the Cobra, probably. It's that or swing round. Give me a sec. Okay, so I think the answer is swing round after lance. So that's a kill. And then I can flip myself around.
Annihilate them.
Torpedoes out. Come at me, bro. And you're going to launch? Yes, you are. Okay, plasma torpedoes, clear run, straight through to the Viper. Lance, engage on the Cobra.
Fire the lance batteries.
Now we need to swing past those plasmas.
Lay in the course. Another
Dorsal macros
salvo.
fire. And then helm run us right past those plasmas. And we may as well take a shot at them as we do so.
Macro cannons, volley!
They can, I believe, proximity detonate, but they won't be able to actually fully detonate. Alright, 7 ancient machinery and a Starbreaker lance. Medium range dorsal lance weapon, dealing 32 to 40 damage. Okay, so we get to swap our Mazoa macro dorsals for a Starbreaker lance and 7 ancient machinery. 55 scrap. And let's see what we get from the cargo ship. No, I get nothing from the cargo ship. I did the Navica. Okay, here we are. The ship has been found. Its cargo will be used for Von Valancius dynasty. Ship called the Inevitable Triumph went missing on course to Footfall. Alright, so we got that. Let's have a look at the ship upgrade quickly. We'll do 16 scrap to repair the ship. And then let's swip out our macro cannons for a lance battery for a significant increase in ship firepower. Love it. And then I can send some cargo to the Imperial Navy, which they will like me for. Okay, so let's go hit this Augur anomaly. Do I want Hyrex or Abelard? Are we more likely to encounter heresy or something where I need to be introduced? I think heresy is more likely than introduction. We'll take Abelard on Janus. Bottomless pit, that's promising. Okay, so we're looking at ruins, which I will loot and scan through. See if we can find anything interesting. Okay, so apparently there was a giant freaky dark pit down here. I talked to the giant freaky dark pit, and now I'm better at coercion tests by +5, because I am now a champion of the abyss. So, you know, that's the thing, but this place is freaky and I want to leave. Bye. Now I could drop an extractor for Xenotech, but I kind of don't want to at the moment because in order to get my colony projects moving, I need other things. Like, I'm going to need, like, mechanisms and adamantine, promethium, weapons. So even though Xenotech sounds cool, I don't see a use for it right now, and I can always come back. So to the warp map, and then I think it might be time to make the jump to Janus. Okay, we've got a warp event. Joy. The ship's taken 4 damage. We've hit some sort of warp storm as I'm jumping back to Foulstone in order to make my way to Footfall. Not Footfall, Janus. Oh, I'm in my bedroom. Well, let's quickly upgrade my kit in any way I can. The long las is still probably my best option. We've got an antidote. I'm going to throw a stun grenade on. If we're really desperate, we can use one of the Eldari grenades, even though they're super valuable. Is there anything else we need to... I think that's otherwise a pretty good kit. The gloves are currently +5 persuasion. Let's swap them out for parrying melee attack with ballistic skill because we're better with we're better parrying with our rifle. And we'll remember to swap back later. What is happening in my bedroom? Lower deck rabble.
Brace yourself.
18 of them. Bunker down in the bedroom. I can't really do much on my CZ initiative turn. I can't VOC myself. Bit weird being an officer. Bit weird being an officer solo, but I can put a zone on myself. I can put a frontline zone for everyone who tries to approach me. And I'll fill this area in with this. These all ranged combatants. Oh, there's a demonette. Fantastic. Stub revolvers. Because I want to be in cover, but I also want to take shots. Pity there's no Overwatch in this game. Let's just take cover, wait for them to approach. I don't have any serious AoE, unfortunately. Oh, 2 demonettes! Fantastic. Some reinforcements would be nice. Because I'm going to be able to kill like 1 person per turn. I have no one to yell at. Without people to yell at, I am not myself. Good job to security who let all these people into my chambers, by the way. Oh, thank you, Argenta. That said, she is a long way away. Fantastic, Perun. All I can really do is bunker down in my bedroom. Because I can't buff myself, I can't do anything to myself. All I can do is move the back line onto myself. That's about it. Argenta, a lot of this is going to come down to you. So if you would be so kind as to light up some fools, that would be nice. Thank you, Argenta. That's a nice start. Let's go into run and gun.
I'll do it.
Into revel and slaughter.
I act.
Into a kill shot on this demonette. Into furious recital. Into steady superiority. Into dash to here, probably. No, no dash. Maybe a small one to here. Okay, light them up. Okay, I make that 8 hostiles. Thank you, Argenta. And you are at versatility 5. You cannot, unfortunately, wildfire this turn, but we'll go you into an instant reload. Dodging. Thank you, Perun. Perun just now just has to not die until Argenta can come and save him. $15 damage from those, unfortunately. So Argenta's going to have to move. She's going to have to run. Ah, Cassia. My girl. Oh, and you still get your seize the initiative turn. Beautiful. Well, how about you do that first? Because Argenta...
I will.
Looks like Argenta can make her shots, her burst shots, even on her additional turns, which is freaking phenomenal. So she just bursted no, she single-shotted last time, so she needs to burst this time. So let's take that free shot first. Which can make her, she can go into run and gun. Take the single shot for more versatility, which lets her go into wildfire, which lets her burst for more versatility. Okay, I make that 11 stacks of versatility now. So she's shooting at 115 ballistic skill. And because she has 4 more stacks, she deals an additional ballistic skill bonus divided by 2 damage. So she's dealing an extra 5 or 6 damage per shot. That was all the seize the initiative turn from Cassia, by the way. Cassia, if you'd be so kind. Perun cannot get line of sight on his friends in order to take them out, which is unfortunate. We're in this area. We'll may as well make this a kill zone. I wasn't aware that would trigger a range attack. Let's go to cleave. And then swap back to the las rifle, because the las rifle is actually how we parry more efficiently. Cassia, if you would be so kind. As to remove some of these fools from my sight. Go straight into... Oh, I should have given Argenta an extra turn, but that's okay. She wouldn't have been able to do much anyway. Okay, not nuking Perun is going to be difficult. Let's give him a whole bunch of additional hit points. And then let's nuke these tactical advantage. Okay, that's a demon nuked. Thank you.
In my heart. Doubt is for the weak.
Rebel.
Hands I act.
Run and gun.
Deeds is the enemy.
Well, we might gun down Perun, or we might not. We've got 58 and 7. Let's go into wildfire, reload.
I'll do it.
Single shot. Into wildfire. Now we're getting rounds downrange.
As the Emperor.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Not the circumstances under which I thought I would end up inviting people to bedchambers, but, you know, it is what it is. Does someone want to explain how they got in, though? Please? Alright, we're entering the system with Janice. We received a Vox message from the planet. The Agri-World's governor officially welcomes the Rogue Trader and reports that she has begun preparations for a formal reception to celebrate the arrival of the planet's sovereign. Alright, well, let's scan the other planets first, because we can always turn those scans into profit factor. And then let's go and check out our planet. I like free stuff. Free stuff is good. We're keeping an eye out for sources of adamantine that are more than 2. We're looking out for sources of weapons. Promethium we're also going to need. Anything that might be useful for colony development. It's a source of plasteel. But we already have a 7 source of plasteel, so no reason to waste an extractor there yet. I'm converting provisions into another building on Foulstone. Since they have that, the indulgences, they're now doing the 1000-face relic. After that, I don't actually have the stats I'm going to need for anything else. The bonfires of the righteous need complacency, efficiency, Promethean people, weapons, things I don't have. The Cemetery of the Faithful gives all colonies +1 and Drusian reputation and Blessing of the Fallen. But it needs 22,000 Drusian opinion, whereas the Maglev rails require 13,000 Explorator opinion, mechanisms of adamantine, and give more of a boost to this planet, but not a boost to anything else. So, we're running out of easy things to build, but the colony is progressing. Let's go to Janus. I imagine it's going to be considerably wealthier than Foulstone. And of course, for landing on Janus, we will bring Abelard. I think Heinrichs gets benched. Jay, you can come along. Heinrichs, you can stay on the ship, I think.